She sat completely still in the middle of the frozen white plain. To anyone passing by, she looked like part of the landscape, a massive shape carved from ice and wind, her fur coated in frost so thick it sparkled like crystal armor. Her body was hunched, unmoving, arms wrapped tightly around something small and hidden beneath her chest. She wasn't sleeping. She was protecting. Beneath her frozen embrace, a tiny heartbeat struggled to continue. Ethan Caldwell, a veteran Arctic ranger with over 20 years on patrol, nearly drove past her. The blizzard reduced the world to shades of white and gray, and the shape ahead looked like nothing more than a chunk of ice pushed up by the wind. But something made him slow down. A feeling deep in his chest. A warning that whispered, "Look again." He cut the engine of his snowmobile. The silence was instantly swallowed by the screaming wind. Ethan pushed forward through deep snow, shielding his face. When he reached the shape and brushed away ice, his breath caught. It was a polar bear. A mother. Her eyes were sealed shut with ice, her head bowed. She had sat there through the storm, refusing to move because moving meant exposing her cub. Ethan pressed a gloved hand against her side, cold, solid, almost lifeless. Then barely he felt it. A faint rise, a fragile breath. She was alive. Working quickly, Ethan chipped away the ice near her chest. That's when he saw the cub curled deep in her fur, tiny and motionless, breathing so softly it was almost invisible. His radio crackled with nothing but static. The storm was worsening. If he left, the cold would claim them. If he stayed, it might claim him too. Logic told him not to interfere. Nature had its rules. But Ethan couldn't ignore the way her arms were still wrapped around her baby. He made a decision that would change his life. He wasn't leaving them. Using his sled, winch, and every ounce of strength he had, Ethan carefully secured the mother bear. The cub light as a blanket he tucked inside his jacket, close to his chest. The ride back to his remote cabin was a race against time. Inside, warmth roared from the fireplace. Ethan laid the mother on thick rugs and worked patiently, warming her slowly. He placed the cub against her chest and covered them both. Then he waited. Minutes passed. Then a sound, a tiny squeak. The cub stirred. Ethan fed it warm milk, holding his breath as it latched on. Relief washed over him. Then the floor vibrated. The mother bear moved. Her eyes opened. Ethan didn't run, he didn't move. He lowered his gaze and stayed still, holding her cub gently. The room was silent. She sniffed the air, the warmth, the fire, her baby alive. Then she relaxed. She lowered her head and watched him, not with anger. With understanding. For 3 days the storm trapped them together. The cub grew stronger, clumsily exploring the cabin. The mother recovered slowly, accepting food and water with quiet caution. When the skies finally cleared, Ethan called wildlife professionals. The bears were taken for treatment and later released back into the wild. Ethan didn't follow. Some bonds are meant to be honored from a distance. Weeks later, he woke to a sound on his porch. There, perfectly placed, was a freshly caught fish. No tracks. No sign of who left it. Then it happened again. From afar, through his binoculars, Ethan saw them, a large white figure and a smaller one beside her. The mother paused, turned toward the cabin, and stood there for a long moment. She didn't come closer, but she remembered. Kindness, it seems, is a language even the wild understands. And in the frozen silence of the Arctic, Ethan was never truly alone again.